What's up, man? TCL Scorpion 72. Today we're taking a look at the new 52 Doomsday Build-A-Figure wave. This consists of armored Batman, Robin, and Lex Luthor in prison outfit from the movie. You see a little side thing of them panel. Also in this wave I'll be going over Supergirl from the CW TV show, Mutant Leader, and Doom Superman. They come in a window box type packaging. On the back you see there you need all 6 figures to build your new 52 Doomsday, which looks pretty awesome. So without further ado,
Scorpion 72. Well, you know that part already. Why am I repeating it? That's at the beginning. Old habit. So first figure, we'll take a look at this line. This is the build new 52 Doomsday line from Mattel. So they're doing the multiverse figures and stuff like that. So I'm going to go through all of them. First up is the Armored Batman. This is based off of the Frank Miller Return of the Dark Knight, the first original Return of the Dark Knight back in the 80s. So this is his first armor up look and stuff like that before they try to tweak it. I know like lately there's been a lot of Armored Batmans. So articulation, head's on a ball joint. Can look up, can look down fairly well. I believe they're using the Master Universe buck. I go way back and said I never use it, but hey, it does come in handy, especially for certain figures. So arms can go out, forward, single joint in the elbow, twist in the bicep, rotation in the wrist, twist in the waist. Then you have leg articulation, kind of spread out a bit. Here you have single joint in the knee. No twist in the thigh or anything, but there's an upper thigh joint here, right where the leg connects. And there's a boot articulation twist there, and there's ankle articulation, and no ankle rocker. The sculpting is really well done. I like it. It looks like the comic book. Here the cape is kind of rigid but pliable at the same time. This is the back showing you all the belt. Said the face is really well done. I like this, the fact that I have spikes in the bottom of the boot, just like in the comic book. He comes with the gun. I believe the gun he used to shock Superman. Can't remember reading the comic, and of course it's been done in animation from DC. So and it's pretty much panel to panel. So whether you like to read a graphic novel or you want to watch a cartoon, the animated series, which is really good, based off this story, I do recommend it. The gun can only fit in his left hand. That's one kind of bummer. Some of them his gun's a little twisted and can only fit in his left hand, leaving his right hand just as a fist. So change of hands would have been cool for this guy, or at least have him with another open hand so he can hold something else. But nevertheless, it's really cool. I'm having trouble trying to see if I could pop off the head to pop the other one out. I haven't managed to do it, but I don't want to force it, I don't want it to break either. So this is figure number 1 in the Build-A-Figure new 52 Doomsday. So the next figure we have upcoming is Carrie Kelly Robin. So this is the Robin. She hears Batman's back. She wants to be a superhero. Dons on the Robin outfit and stuff like that from a costume shop, and she goes out to fight crime. So she eventually does run into Batman and ends up being his partner. So the head's on a ball joint slightly, just goes left to right. About the sculpting right off the bat, I do wish they use like clear goggles and stuff like that. This is really sculpted goggles. You can't even see her eyes. And in the comic book, even in the promo picture, when you buy the figure, you can see her eyes. So she had these clear green type of goggles. And that would have been cool because it is possible to do. They've done it before with some other figures and stuff. So that would have made this figure a little bit extra cool. Back to the articulation, we have single joint and ball jointed shoulders. You have that single joint in the elbow for twist. Mattel needs to upgrade their articulation. I mentioned that I think when I did one of their reviews before, and it's time they come and start up and down their articulation. Waist here, swivel there at the waist. Legs can pretty much go outwards quite a bit. Got upper thigh articulation. You got single joint here in the knee, and it kind of twists no, that's still the thigh articulation. Some of them have the twist before, but this one doesn't. I'm surprised they didn't add that, because it would add a little bit more articulation to the figure. And they have the single joint here in the ankle, and it's kind of hard to push up, so do be careful, because I remember with the DC Universe Classics Robin, when they did him in this classic uniform, there was a lot of breakage in the ankle for some reason. So it seems that, of course, by now they have that fixed, but mine was a little tough to push, so try not to force it. Like I said, the sculpt is really well done. Cape's a little bit pliable and rigid at the same time, very long. She comes with one accessory, which is a slingshot, which actually fits right here. So you can have the slingshot there, you can actually take it out, and you can put it in her hand. Now, of course, Mattel and their safety type rules, it's hard to get her in the hand. Safety type rules does not allow them to have like an actual slingshot, so you can't actually use it like a slingshot. It's just hanging there like this, so which is okay. I do understand that. And like, she has a fist hand here, which you can't even make it like she's actually pulling the slingshot back. You can pretend, but it's not really going to show that she's doing that. But nevertheless, it is a cool figure. The height between these two are right on par. Not too bad. And that's pretty much all I have to say about this figure. She's one of the main, she's one of the more popular figures out of this series, I have to say. Her and the Supergirl, which I'm going to get to eventually, of course. So that leads me to my next figure, which is going to be Suit Lex Luthor. So, those of you who haven't seen Batman vs Superman, spoiler alert, okay, he's going to be caught and in prison. That seems the way they always seem to end up with Lex Luthor in any movie. He gets caught and goes to prison. For the smartest man on earth, he does get caught a lot in his movies. So, he basically comes in his prison outfit here. And I do like that they have here Belle Reve Penitentiary on the back. And he has this number here. So this is the bald-headed Lex Luthor. So if you have the other Lex Luthor, you know, you have all the hair and stuff. So at the end of the movie, they shave his head, and that's how he ends up bald. Whether he keeps it or not, we have to wait and see. He doesn't come with any accessories. I guess the accessory is the actual manacles and the handcuffs here and stuff, which is removable. So you just take that off his ankles, take it off his wrists. And at the back, there's two little peg holes that hold it in the wrist. His waist. And you just take it off, and there you go. So you can kind of use this for somebody else if you wish. It's pretty cool. Now, articulation has a decent ball joint. He has upper arm, arms are ball joint. Shoulders are ball joint. Single joint in the elbow with a swivel at the bicep. A single swivel at the wrist. Here he has an ab crunch, waist articulation, leg articulation, go outwards, forwards, single joint in the knee, just above the knee, thigh cut right there, and he has ankle articulation here in his foot. No ankle rocker. So, this figure is not bad. It's very basic. Very plain. If you have another figure which matches the same tone, you can actually just maybe hot boiling water, take off the head, put somebody else's head on there, make it like somebody else is in prison, or you can just keep this the way it is, or you can actually switch this head and put it on the actual Lex Luthor with his like slacks and his pants and stuff like that. Make it seem like he got up from early parole or whatever you want.
If anybody knows what this numbers mean, I'll be really interested to know. Looks at the year, initials, month, and date, but to what and to who?
So that leads me to the next figure in this line. There we have DC's DC Supergirl. So this Supergirl is based off of the Supergirl CW TV series, which the first season was a start and really good. Had a lot of Easter eggs throughout the whole season, and a lot of cameos here and there. Second season is picked up. Same thing, a lot of cameos, references to a lot of different characters in the universe and stuff. I do like it. I do enjoy the Supergirl series. There's a big crossover invasion coming up, which crosses over all of the CW series. Believe it or not, they're just missing one day, Friday. So who knows? If they can get Constantine on CW, that means DC will pretty much own the whole week with their shows. Because Supergirl is Monday, Flash is Tuesday, Arrow is Wednesday, Legends of Tomorrow is Thursday. So all they need is just one more. So the likeness of the figure is really, well, I'd say it's well done for. I hear her likeness is hard to capture due to, of course, you see my other video about the DC collectibles having trouble with the statue and her actual figures coming out from them later on next year. That they have trouble catching her likeness. There's certain actors and actresses that have that problem, that certain sculptors have a hard time catching their likeness, like Harrison Ford, Sigourney Weaver, and some of those come to mind. The Bill Murray, hard characters to catch their face likeness of the action figure. So, head can turn left and right. Starboard can look fairly down, can look upwards. There's a little wash here, so it's got blonde and dark wash. I do like that the hair is very, very pliable. I give applause to that. Like I always say, any female character, the hair should be really, really pliable, even if it's like plastic, very pliable, so it doesn't hinder the movement of the head. Shoulders on the ball joint, single articulation in the elbow. Mine's still a little rough there. To bend, swivel in the elbow, so all the females seem to have that simple swivel there. That way it doesn't interrupt. I have a bicep cut. Swivel in the wrists. She does have waist articulation, and she does have an ab crunch. Legs can pretty much go outwards and forward. And what's really clever here is that they did a cut. So they did the cut in the dress, so it allows you to kind of like put her like she can kick upwards, or even like spread a little bit to like fly and stuff like that. So you can get some pretty cool poses. It did not leave it solid, which is really, really cool. And that's helpful for posability and playability. So she has thigh swivel, which is hidden underneath the dress. Simple knee articulation and ankle articulation. Cape here. I don't know why they keep doing this. This kind of bothers me sometimes. I leaves to push out the cape away from the actual sculpting of the figure, but there's a big piece of plastic and stuff, so I don't know if I'm gonna cut that off and stuff. So it kind of looks weird. But this cape is really more pliable than the Batman, and just as it's in between the Batman, but it's more like feels like the Robin cape there, the Carrie Kelly, the Robin that I just went through cape. So it's really, really nice. They seem to be really going hardcore and straightforward with these figures from the CW. There's a lot more coming out. Last year, for those of you who would notice, they had an Arrow Flash, Reverse Flash. Now they have Supergirl, and next year they're going with like Jay Garrett, Zoom Buster there. Oops, old spoilers. Doing Zoom, Hawkman. Who else they got on tap there? They have some other ones. So a lot of the CW characters from the shows and stuff, they're making figures up. I'm sure they got more to show at Toy Fair, because that seems to be popular. All the shows are popular, so it makes sense to do figures in them for them. So who can blame for that? The other point I want to make, that's why I'm sorry, I'm just stumbling a bit, is that this wave seems to be half and half. So basically, you got 3 Batman characters and 3 Superman characters, with the main Build-A-Figure being a Superman character. Hence the Superman shirt. Which brings me to my next figure. I will eat Batman! I will feast on his bones! This is the Mutant Leader from The Dark Knight Returns, the comic book version of him, and the animated series version of him. So, the only other person to have done a Mutant Leader so far is Mezco, and they're doing the same 6-inch scale, but with real well, he has real leather pants because he really doesn't wear anything else other than that, and a lot of different accessories. There's one that came in a 2-pack, and there's one that came separately. But now the Mattel has now also done the Mutant Leader, and just to let you know, they are coming out with more of the Dark Knight Return characters. From Dark Knight Returns 2 and 3, I believe. So Dark Knight, the first one, the Joker is coming out. I am not sure if they're going to keep the 2 heads, which I hope they do, because one of them is, he has his eye shut because of the batarang in the eye. What's the other one now? Ash and Wonder Woman, I believe, are the other 2 on tap for the Dark Knight series type characters. So it's like they're mixing and matching. They're doing movies, TV, and comic book. But the thing about the comic book characters they're picking, I've seen, it seems to be a lot of Batman type, almost Superman oriented. So hopefully they're broadening out and do a little bit different variety. Onto the figure. Head's kind of on a ball joint. Sculpting is pretty cool. Goggles are a lot better sculpted than the Robin goggles, I find. It is not as bulky and stuff, which I don't know why they did that to Robin. Shoulders, ball joint, swivel in the bicep, single joint in the elbow, swivel in the wrist. His shackles here are not painted. They should have been painted yellow, but they're not. It's flesh tone, so they actually match. I can't remember if that's accurate or not. I think it might be. He might have these actually come out of his skin. If not, it might be like a mess up that they're supposed to paint these orange. I think they were supposed to paint these orange like his belt. He has ab crunch, swivel in the waist, leg single outwards, single joint in the knee, swivel at the upper leg here, not at the thigh, and he has the shackles here twist, but not his ankle, but he does have ankle pivot. And he does have lovely nails polished on his toenails that have been done, and his fingers. So he's got a pedicure and a manicure. Because, hey, Mutant Leader's gotta look good. So, his accessories include this, which is a torch, which can fit in either hands, but it seems like it's mostly made for the right hand, so he can hold the torch here. And he comes with a crowbar, which he used to beat up Batman in their first encounter. So this crowbar is pretty neat, and could come in handy too, because you can actually use it for your Joker figure, because Joker loves a crowbar. So now on to our last figure, Doomed Superman. So this is based off the storyline. I did not read it, but it's pretty good. And basically what happens, I believe, from what I've gathered from the little bit what I've read here and there about the story, is that Superman gets infected with some kind of a Doomsday virus, hence the name Doom Superman. So he's got bones coming out of his costume and everything like that. And it looks pretty cool. So we get a monster Superman. The face sculpt is really, really well done. He looks like he's just got this evil grin on him, which is cool. Head's on a ball joint here. Can kind of look up and kind of look down. It's kind of still hindered a bit. Can go left or right. Shoulders on the ball joint. He's got he's got a swivel in the bicep here. Single joint in the elbow. Swivel in the wrist. He has an ab crunch. He has swivel in the waist. Same thing here, legs and spread out. I do notice with this figure, the Batman and Mutant Leader, they have a little bit of rubber here that I forgot to mention. And then you have the swivel in the upper thigh part here. So it's really weird, different. I think that's due for them using the Masters of the Universe book, because it feels like that, and that's what they use for like the lion cloths and stuff. They normally use that part there to kind of like hide the articulation part and piece there. There we have single joint in the knee and single articulation. It's like single bending in the knee and single articulation in the ankle. No boot swivel or anything like that. This cape here, Got a nice little black S on there, and it's really pliable. Like, I think it's more pliable than the other capes I just went through here. It does have that same like hard plastic thing here, so if you really want it, and there's a little faint like plastic line there. So if you really want to have this cape, oh, that's me. If you want to have this cape to float up higher than this, you will have to cut this back piece. The S on his chest is well done. So of course it's the new 52 costume, and it is a new 52 story. And I have to say, I do like it. It looks really nice and well done, and the edges are nice and like sharp here. His bones are protruding through his body, so it's really cool. Different type of Superman to have, a little monster Superman to have in your collection, and I do like it. So on to the main star of this wave, which is the new 52 Doomsday. Star of the wave, the new 52 Doomsday. So this guy is pretty massive. I will do comparison pictures to the other Doomsday that Mattel's done so far. Does not beat the Doomsday they did when they ended the DC Universe Classics line, but it does come pretty close. Now, thing is about my Doomsday, I'm going to mention right now, is that his leg was glued here really like wedged in, that when I tried to bend it, it actually snapped. So I get a replacement leg for this. So I will not be bending this leg, but that's a first for me. And all the Connect figures I've gotten from them from in the past when I collected the line, the classic line, first time I had a figure break before I can actually put them together. So without further ado, let's go through the articulation. Head's on a very well ball joint, like you can really look all the way upwards, and you can look down. Very well done there on the ball joint here. You can go look left to right. Shoulders on the ball joint can only go up this far due to, like, you know, of course his bone sticking out and stuff. You're not gonna get much from that. Arms go outwards, swivel in the bicep. Single joint here, bending in the elbow, swivel in the wrist. He has ab articulation, has a little click there to it. Swivel in the waist. Waist can pretty much go outwards. Single joint here in the knee. He does have thigh articulation, so I can switch that. I can at least move here on this one. I can't bend the leg, I gotta get another replacement. And the problem is with this one, with the right hand replacement, it's one of the main popular figures, which is the Robin. And I really gotta find a Robin and how to replace the leg, and that's gonna be a challenge. But maybe not too much. I have seen it here and there, so I should get it quickly, but I wasn't able to get it for this video. Anyways, I'll start rambling. Did the knee joint, and he has articulation here in the ankle. So this Doomsday is pretty cool. Really well done. The sculpting here is nicely done. Like, all the bones and everything are sculpted, and they're all painted. And even his fist here, I'm surprised, is not like soft as pegs. I believe when I check the other Doomsday, I'll let you know. I think his knuckle claws here were soft until they're have the safety laws, but the safety rules and stuff from Mattel. I'm surprised they actually made this really hard. Even this, I believe the other Doomsday has it really soft, his bones, but this is really hard and rigid. Even the back bones here are hard and rigid. I know for sure the other Doomsday had it really soft plastic. So things have changed.
So you can see him here, the first Doomsday we got from Mattel, and then you see him with the last Doomsday we got from Mattel. What a big difference. Yes, the bones in the last Doomsday we did get from Mattel are soft and pliable, really soft rubber plastic, and the new one is really hard and rigid plastic.
I really do like the head. Nevertheless, he's a cool figure. It's one of those figures that when the DC Universe Classic line was happening, that a lot of fans asked for, and got told this and that, and just never came about until when they had to go through the subscription route and stuff. All that could have been
Action figure rant.
It just went down this
Going
route,
to action figure
adding
rant.
and mixing all the figures in together. Classic
Action
line was
figure
still
rant.
going today, kind of like how Marvel Legends is going. But even Marvel Legends had a hiccup and had to reboot. So this is DC's way of rebooting here. The Mattel line. The only thing is that they really need to change around the articulation of the figures. There's a rumor, which is kind of funny, that somebody had asked them a question as to why they don't have double jointed elbows and knees, and you won't believe their answer is they thought it was copywritten that only Marvel Legends and Hasbro could use that, and that is kind of hilarious at one point and sad at the other point. The fact that they think the articulation is copywritten. Articulation cannot be copywritten. You look at Figma art, look at SH Fig Arts, Mezco. Look at other companies that are doing figures. NECA, all those people doing figures, they have double jointed knees, elbows, ankle rockers, whatever. Mattel, it is not a copyright to add this articulation. The characters are copywritten, as you know, but not articulation. So it's time to catch up a bit with this.
Action figure rant number 2.
And you need to add more because
Fight for your right for
figures are
playtime and action
still
figures.
just as when you first started the DC Universe Classics line. Just my opinion, and just me putting it out there that you can put double jointed knees and elbows and ankle rockers on any and all your figures. So go nuts hopefully next year and do that. That would be surprising to everybody and guarantee you get a lot more people jumping on board. So this wave has been out for probably about a month or two. Is only now, believe it or not, I'm not sure if we even hit here. I got this from a show. I got the whole set from the last show I did, like about the beginning of this month. So here in Canada, I don't think the set's hit yet. It may just be coming in now at this moment because they're about at least 4 weeks behind. To put it this way, 2 weeks ago is when we just now started to get the Suicide Squad wave with Katana, Boomerang and stuff. So it just goes to show how slow things are up here. So I just happened to get the wave now a few weeks ago, and I kind of almost forgot about it because I do have a lot of stuff, toys, and I'm working on my back cave and thing. So I decided to do a little quick review and just get them all one shot, boom. So in Scorpion 72 with a review of the Mattel new 52 Doomsday Connect and Collect figure or build a figure wave. Telling you to enjoy your toys. Until next time, keep playing. Thanks for watching. Ciao. I am Doomsday.
One, two, three, four. I like videos. You like videos. I love toys.